Howdy, everybody. Episode 68 of Video Rot. I'm Aaron.
Riverman here. What's going on?
We are talking New Year. It's 2024 officially. We'll see how long it takes to get used to saying that. You know, it usually takes the people a couple of weeks to type it right, you know, at your job and all that stuff, or even to say it. It's really odd. And I realized this year will mark 10 years of me living in Arizona. It's crazy how the older we get, the faster time goes.
It does, man. It flies by.
I
Wait till
was
you have kids, man. It goes by like a blink.
yeah, you're not even just looking at yourself getting older and fatter. You got kids growing up in front of you, right? It's like and you're it's just these constant reminders. I was watching the Osbournes podcast last week, and it really depressed the hell out of me because Ozzy was he's still funny, but he's like really old. He's like telling Jack, Jack, every decade it gets faster and faster. It's like yesterday. The fact that he's like yesterday I was in Black Sabbath. Every decade gets faster. It's like, dude, how the fuck did I become 75, however the fuck old he is? I'm like, God, that's so scary. I don't know. I'm not saying I have to be Michael Jackson and want to live forever, but dude, if human beings could somehow live 200 or 300 years, I'd sign up. I'd love it.
It'd be interesting.
I don't want to live forever, but I'd love to live a couple hundred years, man. I think whatever's, and I'm not going to get all fucking Michael Bauer on you today with and getting based, but like whatever they're putting in the water to make us die at like in our 60s, it ain't flying. I don't.
So you can put your brain in like a robotic body or something. You would do that, like RoboCop.
Except I'll put it in one of those sex robots that's coming out.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, just like the RoboCop effect, because I was also watching more stuff on sex robots, and I remember 10 years ago they had like primitive sex robots where they didn't have much of a body or whatever. I think they were just like on a stick, but they had the head, and then the head was like eating a banana, and it was showing you what it could do. I'm like, holy shit! And and now they're saying it's just going to be another year or two, and they're going to be mass marketed, and they're going to be like super realistic. So we could put my brain in one of those. You know, maybe I'll get sold to Scott Bakula.
I wonder how expensive those things are, though. I mean, they're probably a couple grand, right?
More, because can you imagine what the high quality dolls cost that aren't even robots? Like those like lifelike dolls that are fully like jiggly and all that stuff and anatomically correct. Those cost like $10,000. They're expensive, man.
That's crazy.
Now, if you put one with an actual personality and a robot that can actually fillet you, like you don't have to force yourself on it. God, man.
That's ridiculous. Why would somebody pay their money for that?
Can you imagine what that's going to do to society? And to me, it's like, is that their plan to make us stop having babies and decrease the population? Because if in like 10 years, 20 years, we have robots that are smart enough to be our partners and they start doing pretty good. I mean, maybe not. I don't know how long it would take for maybe with AI, they'll start becoming emotionally like there for people.
Well, they've already been doing that, putting all the soy in people's foods now, right?
And then like what happens if like a robot gives you the best head you've ever had in your life? Like you have to be honest with yourself, like it's the fucking best head ever in my life. Fucking robot, man. What the fuck is going on? What's gonna happen? Well, who's gonna have? Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead. I'll finish in a second.
No, it kind of goes along with it, but I did see like, aren't they charging like four guys on the metaverse for raping some girl on virtual metaverse or something? I saw that article come out. Yeah,
the YouTube
which is crazy.
Grape Todd on YouTube.
Grape,
say grape.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I thought I saw something, an article about that. I'll have to pull that up and look.
Yeah, pull that up because that's absolutely wild. Because then, like, how's that different than just like sexual harassment, like online harassment? Because it was Avatar, right? Avatars.
Okay, yeah. So here it's the New York Post. Police investigate first case of girl virtual gang grape in metaverse. So it looks like it's in the UK. Alleged victim is identified under 16 years old wearing a virtual reality headset. That's crazy.
And they gang raped her avatar?
Yeah.
But that's got to be a separate charge than just full on grape.
I have no idea.
That's got to be like some kind of like harassment.
They're saying like she went through some like trauma or something like that. So I don't know, but
But hold on, hold on. So now I have to mince words here. I get it. That's really perverse. But at least in the stages that we're at with virtual reality and stuff like that, how is that different than if we're playing Call of Duty online? Oh, you can't charge me for murder because we ganged up on you as you're respawning and just murdered you. You know, that's not.
I have no idea. I
I,
mean,
I
it happens in the UK. It's going to happen here soon enough.
sounds like harassment of some sort. I mean, there has to be some kind of regulation with online stuff because the possibilities are going to be endless, and they already are. You got people swatting people. That's been going on for a decade plus.
That's
You know,
crazy. Yeah.
doing all kinds of crazy stuff online. So there's got to be some regulation. But yeah, I just don't know. I feel like you mix in when you mix the increasingly advancing technology and stuff like AI, plus we're going to have robot women, and then you also take into the fact that millennials, and I would imagine maybe even the generation after us, hopefully this shit's all cleared up by the time we get to generation alpha, because that's the next one, right? After
Mhm.
Z. Okay. Our generation, you're an exception. Our generation is having less kids than they're just not. You know what I mean? Back in the boomers were having tons of kids, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
boomers were a product of being tons of kids. The boomers were having tons of kids because they were pretty much right out of high school, getting houses. They all had houses by the time they were 18, and they were married and having kids, and then even like my parents' generation, they were having kids. But it's statistically, it's out there. Millennials, our age, maybe like cusp Gen Z, they're not having kids.
Well, because they can't afford it.
They
I mean,
can't
they can
afford
barely
them.
afford housing now. I
No,
mean,
it's because they can't afford them.
yeah.
So this is really going to be an interesting generation as it goes. We're going to be a real thin generation, and it's all because we can't afford them. So if you mix in the fact that maybe let's say in 5 years, 10 years, if these robots are smart enough to replace a real like partner, what incentive do you have to really go out and procreate? I mean, I guess if you can afford these robots, if they're still kind of you can afford a kid. I don't know, but is it just a way of like decreasing our population and
Oh, absolutely.
slowing us the fuck
Well,
down?
the government doesn't want to incentivize anybody to have kids anymore. I mean, just look, they can give people so many tax breaks for having kids, but now they're cutting all that shit back.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. Which don't even bring up taxes. I'm really scared shitless.
I
I'm
am too.
scared. I'm scared to file, dude. Because I don't even know where the hell that crap came from last year. But I am scared out of my mind, and I imagine it's going to be more of the same. I don't know why it'd be any
Yeah.
different. It's just going to be, and I don't know how to prepare for it. I don't have. If I got to cough up an extra $5,000 that I that I don't have, where the fuck is this coming from?
Yeah.
Like between the film, coughing up that $5,000 for fucking taxes I wasn't expecting, and a whole slew of other shit. My year, I never quite recovered. I never got caught up because all this shit was happening at the beginning of last year, and I'm still feeling the ripple effect of it. And
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I'm not even completely over it. I haven't paid off the debts that I accrued from that like whole period, and I'm about to probably take on more,
Hmm.
and that's the problem. So I don't know. It scares me, man. But I just and
I don't know what it was last year. I don't know if it was just because we're funding wars or whatnot, but that was the first year I had to pay in like 5 grand. It was crazy, man.
you got a couple of kids.
Yeah. And
It's
I didn't get
ridiculous,
incentivized for any of that shit.
and it comes out of nowhere. Like you really don't like my stuff hasn't really changed in the last 5 years. You kind of I my stuff's give or take always the same. So it just came out of nowhere, man, and it was really deflating.
Hmm.
But at least I guess at least I could say I'm kind of looking. I'm anticipating getting fucked at least maybe it won't
Yeah.
come out of left field, but
Yeah. I was blindsided last
I'm
year.
not
Yeah.
anticipating it to the point where I'm going to be prepared. I'm just going to
Yeah.
fucking deal with it. Like, I'm going to get the fucking bill. I'm going to do my taxes ASAP so I know how much I got to fucking come up with, by tax day. It's absolutely killing me. On that note, you could support us on Patreon, buy a t-shirt, you know, could throw us a
I'll
couple of
just,
bucks. Help us pay for Joe Biden's wars.
yes.
That, so
Give
dumb.
give your money to us so we can send it to Ukraine. How about
Ab-
that?
absolutely. Uh, anyway, yeah, I don't know how we got off on that tangent. Yeah, remember to stay off that mic. Just so anyway, we're gonna try and be positive.
Yeah.
I don't. I guess you could have put negative stuff on here, like things that you're looking forward to doesn't necessarily mean anticipate. Like I'm looking forward to get fucked. I'm looking forward. I'm literally looking in the future as if it's going to happen. I am anxious for taxes. But as far as positive things, I came up with like 5 things. I don't want to take it too seriously. Just stuff I'm riffing off the top of my head. I don't want to get into that just yet. I still want to talk and riff a little more, and then we'll get into our segments. Todd's got it this week. But one thing I wanted to say that's totally positive. Hey, really quick, Blaine, yes, we need AI Ernest.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
I mean, I'm surprised there hasn't been Ernest fan. We got Jason fan movies on YouTube. We got all kinds of stuff. Why haven't they made like everybody's been making the Ernest Goes to Hell jokes and Ernest this and that for years and years? Like I'm surprised nobody has like tried to make their own fan film.
I'm still waiting on a Blu-ray box set. I mean, we need something.
I can't find my Ernest Scared Stupid, and it pisses me off.
Well, if you have that on Blu-ray, that thing goes for a mint.
I have it. I fucking own Ernest Goes to Jail and Ernest Scared Stupid, and for the life of me, I mean, it could just be buried in that nonsense in my closet, but I was going through the stack because I just got a bunch of stacks to the wall up on the shelves, and I'm like, I don't see it here, Lloyd. I'm not seeing it here, Lloyd. I've got Goes to Jail. I had that on a shelf out here, so I found that, but I'll be pissed, man. But on the topic of hard to find movies in physical media, one of them that Todd spoke about last week was Martin, that got that second sight release.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring up, because I told Todd I was going to go back and rewatch Martin, because I want to do a George Romero tier list in podcast. And so I got to kind of fill in the gaps and rewatch. That was gross. Rewatch some of these old flicks. And the only place I rewatched it a few nights ago, and I had to watch it on YouTube. Like it was up on YouTube.
Was the quality all right though?
It looked like DVD quality to me.
Okay.
It looked totally. I don't know what the 4K would look like, but it looked totally passable. I'm like,
the film elements aren't the greatest, but I mean, it still looks pretty solid.
For a 1970s movie on YouTube, it looked like it was probably DVD quality, but it was totally fine. Anyway, I watched it, and I have to say I have a new respect for it, because I think what is this? We're having trouble streaming to Twitch. This is an issue on Twitch's end. Yeah, I'm not removing the destination. I guess Twitch is just fucked. Sorry, guys. But no, I have a new respect for it. So I have to say that I still think it's a bit slow in places. I still think it was a little slow, but I think when I watched Martin, I haven't seen it in 20 years. I watched it with Todd. I watched it in his basement when we were in high school. I guess, first of all, I don't think my brain was advanced with subtext of films quite then, and I didn't know what to expect. And I'm watching it, and I'm not really unpacking it. For all I know, we spent the whole day out at a festival or something, and we were eating. I was distracted by chili cheese burritos, but I wasn't really dissecting this. Kind of like I wasn't really watching Dawn of the Dead and dissecting the obvious subtext in that. I'm just like, hey, a zombie movie, cool. But anyway, now I can appreciate the subtext, and I'm really picking apart Martin, and I was really enjoying the ambiguity of it, right? It like the whole, is he a vampire? Is he not a vampire? Does it really matter? Because it's like his cousin and him both believe it, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
I thought the concept was really fucking cool. Really, really great concept. Really a movie that makes you feel dirty in places.
It does.
But it's funny because, it's a movie that kind of makes you feel bad too, because Martin's such a nice guy. Especially if he's just like a victim of if he's not a vampire, it's mental deterioration. Maybe it's family sickness, because they keep talking about generations, so that could allude to a pattern of mental health in the bloodline. I don't know, or just whatever. Him just being brainwashed from a young age. But he's such a nice guy when he's not like doing his thing. But when he's doing his thing, it's just like fucking rape. It's fucking terrible. Grape. I'm so sorry. It's the needle, and what does he say? Like, oh, it used to be much harder before I discovered the needle, or whatever he says. It's like, it's so casual.
I think John Amplas was awesome in that movie. I thought he was really good as Martin.
Yeah, it was really creepy. So I liked it enough. I mean, I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's like I love it, like you love it, but to go from a movie I didn't like to now it's at least a 7 because I
Mhm.
couldn't. For me, I watched it late at night. It still felt kind of slow to me, but I'll tell you what, I want to watch it again.
That
I
happens to me all the time now. Now that I
but
get
I
older, yeah, you different eyes, man. I understand where you're coming from.
but now I want to watch it. But I do want to watch it and revisit it again because I think there was a lot to unpack there. There's more than what's on the surface. So anyway, me watching that and me enjoying it and me having that curiosity about diving into it even more and mix that with FOMO, I bought the second site.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I'm like, you
It's a
know what?
really nice set.
Yeah, I was like, damn it, I don't want to spend the money on this, but shit, I feel like I'm gonna regret it because eventually it will go out of print.
Mhm.
And I, there's the history of Martin being because it's owned by the same asshole who does the Dawn of the Dead. He's a fucking stickler, and
It has awesome special features too, man. Yeah, you'll really dig it. Just going into it, you know that it's the best it's ever gonna look. I mean, it's not gonna be 4K quality, the actual 4K, but it's going in, you know that it's the best it's ever gonna look. So
yeah, it's a dirty, cheap
yeah.
'70s movie. I don't expect it to look fantastic. Um, yeah, so I got that. I'll have that coming from Diabolic. What I don't know if I got a good deal. Whatever. I don't. How much did you pay for it?
I don't remember. I ordered it. I pre-ordered it from
Straight from the second
either
site.
Diabolic. No, I don't buy straight. Either Orbit or Diabolic.
Diabolic usually has the best deals.
I
I
like
think I.
Orbit's the best because they have really good deals and they ship like the same day,
Oh
which is
really?
nice. Yeah.
I think it cost me 60 on
Yeah.
Diabolic.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
That's
There's
it's
one.
worth it. It's worth having a special edition of that though.
There's one release I'm super tempted to get. Like I don't want to spend the money, but I just know it will eventually sell out, and it's so cool. And I want it because I appreciate, and I've seen them. I watched them all with Zach. We did a whole month of these movies, and I really appreciated them. And I thought, and I just from a historical point, I want to get the Coffin Joe set.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that Arrow
No,
Coffin Joe box
I
set?
haven't. No. I
It
know what
looks
you're
like
talking about.
it looks like the Psychos. No, not Psycho. It looks more like a I don't know. I can't spit it out. It's a big fucking Arrow box set, and and we watched not all the Coffin Joe shit because he appeared in a lot of stuff as a secondary character, but as far as his mainline stuff, you know, the first two are really cool. The third one was okay. That newest one, is whatever. But yeah, I really like it. I'm like, man, that's just a sweet looking set. I'm tempted to buy it. What are you looking for? Would you own it?
No, I was looking for something that I wanted to. I was thinking about picking up. They don't have a 4K release of it, but Imprint they put out like a really nice special edition Blu-ray with a ton of extras.
The Billy
The
Drago, the fucking imprint.
Imprint, the label,
Oh, oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant Takashi Miike imprint with Billy Drago.
No, it's an Australian company.
Okay.
They're called Imprint, so they put out a bunch of like Blu-rays and 4Ks. It's a Blu-ray, which I have the Blu-ray, but it's so bare bones. It's the Jacob's Ladder,
Mm.
one special edition. I Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, I that movie is phenomenal. I could rewatch that all the time,
I
man.
need to watch it. The last time I watched it was I remember the year because I was coming back from China and I watched it with my buddy Jesse in Chicago. So it would have been like what 2011, 2010. So it's been a while. I need to go back and watch it again.
We should do that for one of the shows because I give that movie a 10 out of 10. I think it's that good.
I
And I
need to.
really wanna know what you think about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I know the movie. I remember the movie. I remember. But yeah, I want to watch it again with more recent eyes. The one thing I think is fascinating about stuff like that is it's a great example of not I don't I guess derivative content, but just seeing that like art begets art begets art begets art. So growing up, when you're a kid, like we liked video games. I remember like playing PlayStation 1, and I remember playing Silent Hill for the first time. I'm like, whoa, this is so cool, man. This is so trippy. Oh, like I love this whole like angle of like a purgatory, this other world, the twist in that blew my mind. And then you watch Jacob's Ladder some years later and like, oh, well, this is just kind of like Jacob's Ladder. It's obviously a different setting, but it's similar type of concept, right? Like he's stuck in his head. In Silent Hill, you're dead. You know what I mean? But it's a similar thing. You're living out your purgatory, your hell.
Yeah.
A concept's there, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you fast forward more, and then I finally get around to watching Angel Heart. I'm like, well, fuck, man. Jacob's Ladder just basically took Angel Heart in a way. They're different stories.
Which one came out first? Because I know Jacob's Ladder came out in 90, 89, 90.
Angel Heart's 80. Well, hold on. No. Angel Heart's. I've done this research. I'm going to look it up. I know Angel Heart came first.
Oh, it did.
Hold on. Angel Heart's 87.
Okay.
Jacob's Ladder's right, like maybe, what was that, like 90, 89? Let me see. 90. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, and then you look at then I read interviews with like the creators of Silent Hill and the creators of these properties, and they're like, oh yeah, we're directly influenced, maybe these are my influence, and then Jacob's Ladder, and then you look up Jacob's Ladder, and Jacob's Ladder's like, yeah, I was influenced by Angel Heart, and then I'm sure Angel Heart was influenced by some fucking book, it's you can always keep going down the line. It's just interesting.
I just love Tim Robbins in that movie. I think he's perfect in that movie, man.
Yeah.
But
you had it hard for Macaulay. You saw him, and you're like, he's gonna be a star. He's gonna be a star very soon, my friend.
Yep. Pretty much.
I would love to watch Jacob's Ladder again. I've been meaning to. So I wonder if it's streaming anywhere.
I might have a code for you. So
I would love that. And
I'll give you the code after the show.
I want to make Eva watch it. That'd be a great, because
Yeah.
we run out of stuff to watch, dude. Like sometimes I hate the streamers because it's like, dude, first of all, if I want to pick something off the shelf, that's a harder sell for her because the stuff on my shelf, we've either watched it or it's not, what's left is not something that she wants to watch. Or in the streamers, man, I swear I go through, she'll be like, I want to watch action. I'm like, okay, we'll go through all the action stuff on every streamer and on demand. Like, I've seen this. I feel like I've seen, and so yeah, that's a movie that I could easily show her that I know we haven't watched together. So
I was trying to get my old lady to watch. So been watching X-Files. I'm on season 2. I have that Blu-ray from, I think I got it from overseas. It's a European, but it's region free. And man, that Blu-ray of X-Files, all the seasons, well, I'm on season 2. It looks like a 4K, man. It looks awesome. So whatever the elements that they shot that on and they re-released it, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, and I've said this before. I've never actually watched the X-Files.
That's crazy. You would love it, man.
Oh, I bet I would. No, see, back in the day, I would catch an episode here or there, but it was totally out of context, out of sequence. So I've seen, like, I think I remember watching the episode with Michael Berryman. I just want to go to heaven. I've seen like cherry picked, but I haven't really sat down and really watched.
Started season 1, man. I mean, the first like 3 or 4 seasons are the best, and they're awesome.
Hey, Adrian, he's popping in to say Happy New Year. Yeah,
what's up, Aid?
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the new year and what's popping off. And I just want to remind everybody, if you guys want to comment, just like our buddy Adrian here, you can watch us live on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. CST. Otherwise, the episode will be live the following week. All right. Yeah, man. So, you know what? I should suggest that because we either go from, I like having shows to watch with her because that's easy content to watch with her. Coming up with movies is like a fucking pulling teeth now. It's really hard. I'm not that hard to, dude, I've always got something I can watch, but it's just not what she can watch. Right? I've got a backlog of all kinds of crazy movies she probably don't. And I know she's like a picky eater because if she's just like not interested from the cover, or if she knows if she knows it came from a certain decade, sometimes literally she won't even give it a chance. Sometimes she'll just be on her phone.
Yeah.
Like it won't even give it a chance. Like it's not going to compete with TikTok or whatever.
There's an episode that I was watching. It's called The Host, and it's basically a guy who lives in the sewers. It's not a man. It's an actual, like, he's kind of like a fish type of organism that lives in the sewers, and it's freaking. I mean, his special effects in it are awesome, dude. I mean, his bodysuit looks really cool. I mean, the episodes were just creepy the first handful of seasons, man. So yeah, I think she would dig it. I really do.
Maybe. I tried getting her in a Quantum Leap. That didn't go over so well.
This might be a little bit better because it's actually scary.
Oh, I don't. She's not really a fan of scary.
Well, it's not like scary. It's like paranormal. Like every episode's something different.
She's one of these people where it blows me away, but she doesn't. She won't let me watch Freddy Krueger in the bedroom. Like even
Does she
Freddy.
like true crime?
Like just true crime. I mean, I guess.
Okay.
I think everybody's kind of likes that. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll give it a shot. I wonder if it's streaming on Hulu or something. You know, I don't know, but I'll check it out. I love David Duchovny.
It might be on Disney. I think it might be Disney now that owns it.
I mean,
Fox.
That would be, you know, they're weird about the Fox stuff, but that'd be cool if it is. Did you ever watch Californication? His other show.
Yeah, I love that show.
That's a great show.
Funny.
The last season was kind of,
yeah,
but that was a great show, man. I really dug that. So I love the DeCovs, and it's kind of I kind of hate to see the DeCovs doing some shitty films, like
Pet Cemetery.
Oh gosh, that was terrible.
Did you watch that movie?
I did. Did you?
No, I didn't watch
it. Bad.
Did you guys review that or no?
No, I didn't. No. Oh, well,
or a commentary.
We probably talked about it on Cinema Enema, just kind of like grazing what we. But dude, that is not. It's really bad. I kind of went into it like, you know, it might be kind of fun to go to Ludlow, Maine again and just see maybe how bad could it be, right? Just, you know, it's bad. It's like
I saw Pam Grier in the trailer. I'm like, are you kidding me? She looks horrible.
I mean, everybody ages, but
well, I know, but I saw her like what 5-7 years ago. She looked great.
I think it was a little more than 5 years ago, wasn't it?
20.
I've lived here a decade, dude.
Maybe it's 10 years ago. No, but in the trailer, she has like short hair and like curly hair.
It's just the movie's really shockingly bad. It's basically telling the story. You know, the story that Judd is telling him Louis Creed in the first movie, where he's talking about his son came home from the war and he wasn't the same. We had to burn the house down. And you see those flashbacks. Mm-hmm. It's telling that story.
Okay.
So Judd's young. Judd's living in the same Judd house, but his dad owns it because it's like a generational home, and it's that guy that comes home. Except they bumped it up in time. So Judd, he was talking about somebody came home from World War II because the movie came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
But now they bumped it up to modern times to where they're Vietnam.
Gotcha.
So they just did that whole thing, and it's. I think it's technically supposed to be, in that sense, I think it's technically a prequel to the Pet Sematary remake than the original Pet Sematary, because they bumped up the times, but it's just not good. It's like really shockingly bad. And David Duchovny, dude, he acts like he wants to be everywhere else but there. Like, I don't.
Does he play Judd in it?
No, he plays the dad of the military guy that comes home that's like a fucking zombie and acting weird. Right? He's the one. And he's just so lifeless, and he just doesn't give a fuck. Like I don't know if he was trying to tap into the character, or like, but it's just, I don't know. Like, dude, you don't want to be here. And yeah, the movie's real trash. It's just not good. And then he did that Craft reboot.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Which is odd. It's like, dude, I think David Duchovny's a fucking star, man. I want him to be in something top tier. I'm not saying he has to be in like big movies, but put him in. He needs to like be headlining a great series. Someone put him in a great put him on True Detective.
Yeah,
Dave Duchovny and True Detective will be. I actually think the Jodie Foster True Detective looks good.
Is that the new season?
Yeah. It's called True Detective with like something else. It's got like a subtitle, but it's Jodie Foster, and I love Jodie. I think Jodie Foster's great, and it looks cool. The story looks cool. I think Jodie Foster, she could easily fucking carry something. So it looks good. It has my interest more than any of the previous sequel seasons or whatever. So
I love the first season. The second season I wasn't a fan of.
I thought I finally watched that shit during the lockdown stuff. Mm-hmm. When the lockdown first happened, we watched the first season of True Detective, and I just thought it was fine. I thought it was, maybe it was just way too hyped for quite a few years at that point, because everybody's just saying, "Oh God, it's as good as TV gets. It's as good as." So I watched it in 2020, so pretty late, and then it was fine. I
Oh,
didn't love.
McConaughey was awesome, I thought, in
Yeah,
it
they were
too.
great, but I didn't think it was amazing. I thought it was fine. We finished it. It was great, but I wasn't like on the edge of my seat. I gotta fucking finish this shit. Well, I just finished it, you know.
I think it was the time, like, when it came out, it was, I mean, there was nothing really like that at the
I feel
time.
like TV's just outdone it now because there's so
Yeah.
many series now. Maybe yeah, it felt pretty lightweight. Um, I guess I didn't know what I was expecting. It was just hyped, so hyped, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is totally fine. This is totally fine. You know, it's funny. I think I I know they're not really the same at all, but dude, I fucking binge watched all the seasons of Bosch, dude, and I've watched this
That's a good show.
2 seasons of Bosch Legacy. That because it continued off in Bosch
Mhm.
Legacy and it's on Freevee. That's like fucking like 10 seasons of Bosch I've already watched, and I just can't get enough of Bosch, man. I
I
can't
think
wait
I've
for it.
seen 2 seasons of it. It was good.
I
I
love
just
it.
didn't finish it. It's too
I we
much.
knocked all that shit out, dude. It was so good. But I love that guy, that Titus Swellover. I don't know how to say
Mhm.
his last name. Dude's awesome, man, and
Yeah.
he should be a bigger star for sure.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
so on that note, let's get into a rousing round of Name That Kino. It is my turn to try and best Todd. Right, last week
Yes.
he did not perform well. I was trying to teach him a lesson because he's always a little unfair. Now okay. It's like a foreign conflict. Nothing's ever really going to get too resolved unless somebody just backs down and says, "Hey, look, we're choosing peace, brother." So Todd, I need Todd. I feel like Todd's going to retaliate though. He's going to
I'm
retaliate.
you think so, but I'm not retaliating this
That's
time.
good. So he's reset it. He's cleansed the palate, and now we
Yep.
can make peace and break bread. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and get it queued up.
So I actually did my homework this time, and
Okay.
I went through your letterbox and made sure you actually saw these movies.
Okay. Jeez,
So
and I always do that. So and like I said, I think a great way to kind of gauge it, and this isn't being like a sour sport or whatever, but if it's a movie that you think, if it's like Hellraiser or Evil Dead, you can get more obscure with those. If you know it's a movie I've seen a lot, yeah, you could crank up the heat on that. If it's a movie maybe I've seen once 10 years ago, gauge it a little. Don't show me a shoe.
yeah, yeah,
you
no,
know.
no, and
Um,
that's what I was doing
okay.
too. So, but you need to add some more movies to your letterbox because I know you've seen a lot more than are actually on there.
Oh yeah, I mean of
So,
course. I mean it's you know how long it takes to like log all the shit because it's like I didn't start doing Letterbox till about 5 years ago. So it's like I've got movies pre 5 years ago that I
well,
just
you
when
don't
I
gotta
think
add the
about.
dates; just add the star rankings.
I've got quite a bit. I've got more than you on there.
I know, but like some of them were like I can't because some of them were animated, and I was like, I can't do an animated movie, so you'd figure it out right away.
Wait, what are you talking
So,
about? Hold on. Let me put this to bed right now. So anything past 5 years ago is all new shit. I watched. I think I watched 846 movies for 2023. New movies. That's pretty good.
well, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was trying to actually find it on a streaming service because you know how you can click on that button and it'll tell you what streaming service it's on.
Uh,
So I was trying to cut the clips.
Yeah.
So
As far as like digging through my archives, yeah. So for example, I added 846 new movies for 2023. Total, I've got 1900 films. So obviously in like
okay,
32 years I watched more than 1100 films. If I watched 850 last, you know what I mean? But yeah,
yeah,
it's just as you think about it, you know. Whatever.
okay, all right. Let me.
I feel like we should really do something with that Corey. Make that a logo, dude. We should make a new crop of that with his face really zoomed in or something, and like the VR, dude.
we we absolutely
So it's
could.
a good thumbnail and a logo. I wonder if we'll get sued, dude. See, you're using me as your logo. Like, yeah,
We
you're
love you,
a
Corey.
spokesperson, dude.
Uh,
You told us to go for it,
I
so I
know.
did.
All right,
All right.
turn your comments off.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me turn that off. All right. So Todd, feel free to guess in the comments, guys. I'm gonna turn them off so I can't see. But Todd, of course, can to tell you, oh, someone got it and all that stuff. He'll be able to view that stuff. All right. So am I naming that Kino?
Name that Kino, Aaron.
All right. That looks like French Stewart. I don't move that cursor off his chin, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't. It's not French Stewart, but it looks like a bootleg French Stewart. I don't think I'm gonna get this from this clip, but I'm trying to see if I know that actress. Is this Ghost Ship?
No.
The year is ambiguous because it kind of looks like it could be an early 2000s, it could be like a 2010, or it could be like 2 years old. This one's
Ballpark.
yeah, it's like once shit went digital, it's kind of hard to tell when a movie came out because this is clearly digital, right?
Yeah.
It's digital era.
I would say so. Yeah.
It looks digital, but
Yeah.
what do I know from a screen?
It
What do I
is.
know from a screen through a fucking screen that you took a picture from? I don't. It's not It Chapter 2. What the fuck is this? Give me another one. That's tough.
Okay.
Why does it look like something from? It looks like something from. Why can't I spit it out? Who's the guy that did Oculus? The dude that does all those Netflix series. The House of Fall, the House of Usher. What is his fucking name? I can't think. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Name that Kino.
Oh, Cynthia Nixon. Okay, from Sex and the City fame. Gosh, man, what movie is it with Cynthia Nixon as is this The Babysitters? John Leguizamo.
You got it.
All right. I was trying to think like what other movie could it be? That's a movie I've seen once. But there's only so many movies with Cynthia Nixon that I've seen. You know what I mean? Because she's on Sex and the City and whatever. And I know she played the wife, I believe, of John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
And if you look below, that looks like a little half breed. Looks like a half John Leguizamo, half Cynthia Nixon. Like, hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell
No,
yeah.
that was a good guess. And you're getting close to it when you were talking about Netflix. I was going to give you a clue towards the end about like a Netflix movie because that's the only place I found that movie.
It's
like,
not a Netflix. It's not a Netflix original.
No, but like I never did this come out to theaters? I don't remember it.
It might have been. This is before streamers. This is like cusp 2000s. So I was right in the money there. Like it feels like it's like cusp 2000s, but it could easily be 2010. This is like early 2000s.
This was all over Netflix streaming, like when Netflix streaming first came out.
Yeah, I mean, because like, let's look at. I'm curious. Let me look at what year it came out. Let's see. 2007. So
yeah, right around that time.
Yeah, right around that time. Totally before all the shit took off with because I mean Netflix was.
I think Netflix streaming was 2007, wasn't it?
The first year that I remember Netflix streaming was like 2009.
No, it was earlier than that because I got it when it first came out.
Let me see. When did Netflix start? I missed when Netflix first started streaming.
January 16, 2007.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That was a magical period when Netflix first came out, and
there was like, tons of stuff.
But and they were the only player in town, and it was so new, and it was before like they had all the apps for the TVs and Fire Sticks, and you had to watch on your laptop or on your PC. Mm-hmm. But like, dude, I just sitting in my house, like in 2009 or whatever, I would just sit in my living room. I wouldn't even watch my TV because I didn't have cable. I would put my laptop on the coffee table, and I would just lay on the couch, and I watched so much shit. It was awesome, and it was.
Or you plug your computer into your TV. I mean, we used to do that too.
I didn't do that. It was just a hassle. I was totally fine watching my monitor, but it's like that was before Netflix had original content, and they just had like just littered fucking fluff just to pad their fucking service, and it was just real movies. It was just real shit. It was like I watched all the Die Hards. I'm like, this is awesome, man. I'm binging Die Hard like with a push of a button.
A TV series at everything.
Oh yeah, Quantum Leap. I remember revisiting and binging Quantum Leap in like 2009, and I literally laid in bed and I watched I would put Quantum Leap on my desktop computer, which is like I think it was a ghetto old monitor, but I just would watch it. I'd watch it on my fucking. I'd lay in bed and just watch it on this like probably fucking 13-inch monitor, and I had a blast, dude. Just good. And I remember fond memories of doing that. Because I used to work a seasonal job, and we'd get laid off for the winter and come back in the spring, and
Hmm.
I would hole up in this bed in my bedroom in a house, and I remember I was renting a room at this time for like 3 months because I was going to travel. I was going to go to I think Scotland, and I remember just like bundling up because he didn't want to like have a big utility bill, so he'd like let it freeze in the house. But I love it. That's my habitat. I love bundling up, wearing wool socks. You can freeze me. I don't care. And I was just laying in bed, dude. I was like, I didn't shave for like fucking 4 months, dude. I had a giant fucking beard, and I remember probably stank to high hell. Probably got all fat. I was eating snacks and watching Quantum Leap in bed, dude. Fucking day in day out for like 3 months. It was awesome. So great. I only left to like go to Walmart down the street to get one of the big Walmart subs that used to be really big.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
used to be really big when they had all the
yeah. The
bread.
big thick. It was all 90% bread,
It,
dude.
it was, but
Like
I
one
didn't give a
slice of
shit.
ham, dude.
Good memory. And I remember I would just drive. I would vividly. I don't know why I remember this. I remember like I was watching Quantum Leap and I was playing nothing but PS2 and Dragon Quest 8. And I remember I'd take breaks and I'd be like in my fucking. I'd look like Strange Brew with like Rick Moranis just
Yeah.
bundled up in the house. And I would take a break. I'd jump in my car. I'd drive up to Walmart 2 blocks down the road. I'd buy a big sandwich, and I'd listen to Astro Creep 2000. So it's like for this 3 month period, I did nothing but Quantum Leap, PS2, Dragon Quest, Astro Creep 2000, fucking Walmart sandwich, rinse, repeat. And then I'd come back and just get back into bed. Oh boy,
Gained like 30 pounds.
it was fucking awesome. It was great. I wish I could. I couldn't afford that this time around. Being like 37, dude, I can't have like a. I can't have a. I'd probably have a heart attack if I had a 3 month bender like that now.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more resilient back then. Even though like I've always been one to fluctuate. Like I've never been that guy like my brother, a dude who just eat whatever the fuck he wants and he's like a rail dude. Like he just can't.
Oh yeah, I know people like that.
I've always like but yeah, I really couldn't do that kind of shit. Let me look at the comments real quick. Did anybody get it? No, nobody got it. Blaine, though. Shout out to Lazan. Okay, I'm gonna hide him again. It's time for round 2. I'm feeling saucy. Did you see how you see my detective work in that one? How I unpacked that one?
Yeah, I liked it.
I really unpacked it, and yeah,
Yeah, you're taking your time this week. I like it.
yeah. But I don't
Okay.
feel hopeless this week. Sometimes I feel hopeless with this shit. All right.
Name that Kino.
Is this Frank and Jesse?
No.
You know when the farm gets burned down, and
Hmm.
they come home, and the fucking bankers and the Pinkertons they burn down the farm. It's what it reminds me of. Good guess though. I'll say it right now. That was a good guess. Okay.
Good guess.
Shit. Well, I'm trying to think what involves a house getting on fire. A lot of fucking. Hold on. Is it Black Sheep?
No.
When they set his youth center on fire. No,
Not
no, and they get the picture and trying to put it out.
not Black
Uh,
Sheep.
Yeah, Home of Our Own. No, the house didn't
No.
burn down at Home of Our Own. It's kind of it's too hard to tell what year this is from.
I got 2 mediums for you just in
I
case because it's
I
a little more difficult.
I have to ask. This isn't cropped, right?
No.
Because we're not allowed to crop anything. It has to be
No,
just
it's
it
not.
wasn't
It's
straight.
not cropped.
It
No.
looks total okay. All right. So go
No,
on,
it's not that. It's not that, Blaine. But good guess.
Okay, go ahead. I feel like maybe a second one will help me out because there's a lot of movies that involve a house burning down or whatever. It's not Backdraft. I'm not falling for that again. Go ahead. This doesn't look familiar to me. This actress. Is it The Conjuring?
No.
God, this picture's throwing me because now it looks like it might be a little later than I thought. As far as when it came out, now this is totally screaming 2000 up. So I don't recognize who that actress is, but she's like a 40-year-old playing a 13-year-old. It's giving me those vibes where it's like, which tells me whenever you see somebody her age dolled up to look like they're 9, it tells me there's a time lapse, right? You know what I'm trying to say, like because they want to show that person advanced like 15 years later and they're grown up and now they look like they actually do. It kind of
I
predates.
like the way you're breaking this down, but
It's
you're
probably
getting there, but you're
kind of veering off.
going a little off course. Blaine, you got
Uh,
any guesses, man? Anymore?
I think this one's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. And if it's this hard, it tells me you think I've seen it a lot. Because this is kind of hard.
No, you haven't seen it a lot.
Oh, this one's hard, man.
I got a second one for you, so I'm not gonna give you the easy one yet. So you can still redeem yourself by this next one.
Yeah. House on Fire. 40-year-old with pigtails. Could be some kink porn. Daddy daughter shit. You weirdo.
No.
That'd be funny. That stuff's done on Letterboxd. Yeah. I'm struggling with this one a little bit.
All right. So this next one, I'm not gonna say that you can get this and still get it. All right. Because this is a hard one.
All right.
But you have seen it.
Okay. It's not Halloween H2O. It's whatever I think when I see like a fucking window. No, God, who is that actress, man? I don't know who that. Is this like one of those movies after dark? What are the fucking like IFC like what was that fucking movie? Unrest. Is it one of these fucking movies?
No, but you're kind of on the right track. No, it's not that, Blaine.
Is it some kind of remake like House of Wax, like in that vein? It's not House of Wax, I could tell, but
no, but you're kind of in the ballpark with those last two.
Unrest. Is it one of the Saw sequels I forgot existed? Saw 2,
No,
Saw 3.
No.
Not Ghost Ship because we're not on a ship.
You're getting there.
It's not like one of those Vincent Price remakes like House on Haunted Hill, 13 Ghosts.
No.
Like early 2000s.
It's pretty well known though, and it's pretty well hated.
Pretty well hated. It's not The Ward.
It is The Ward. You got it.
Is it The Ward?
Yep.
Go back.
She was one of the girls in The Ward.
God. Go back again. I want to see these pictures.
This is like the opening scene with the church burning or whatever.
You want to know what's so funny? I watched that movie not that long ago, and I forgot this much about it.
I don't blame you.
Unless you would have showed me the main doctor, the guy, or Amber Heard. Fuck, dude. Like, I don't remember any of this. Go back. It looks like a hospital of some sort now that I look at it. Like, I don't know who this bitch is. I don't even fucking know that. Like, oh, okay, get that would have. But I don't even remember this. But this is why she's in the ward, right? Something to do with this flashback?
Yeah, it's the very beginning, yeah.
Dude, yeah. That tells you how bad this fucking movie is.
Yeah.
I watched this movie a year ago max, which feels like 2 days ago when you get to be my age. But yeah, it was in one, and I was paying attention. It wasn't like I was tuned out.
I wasn't. I watched a little bit of it and I could get through it.
Dude, it's bad. I'm like, this is really fucking. John Carpenter really needed the money.
Yeah.
It was just totally a for hire job. It doesn't feel like John Carpenter. Doesn't have a stamp anywhere. Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah, man. I barely am putting together a memory of a burning house in the intro, but I don't remember what happens in that story. I don't remember anything. I just remember the ending being super predictable. Like, oh, really? That's it? But I don't remember much about it. Wow. Okay.
That's why I gave you 2, because I figured, man, I wouldn't watch it again. So,
you know what? I think a better, if you would have shown me the doctor, I would think that would have been fair. Don't show me Amber Heard, because like I don't remember the actor, the doctor. But I know it's like a character actor. But I don't remember. I couldn't tell you who it was. But if I saw it, I'd be like, But like, yeah, I don't remember the girl. I mean, they must have been people in the ward too. Side characters.
It was.
Yeah. Bootleg One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like I could tell you all the side characters in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Fucking Chief and all those guys. They're all very memorable, dude. I couldn't tell you about these fucking bootleg Girl Interrupted cast. Anybody get it?
No. Blaine says he's never seen it.
You're not missing anything. All right. Well, I'm not doing too bad. Let's go ahead and knock out.
So this next one, I think you'll know, but I threw in two hard ones, so just to make it more fun.
Okay.
So I want to see if you can
Two
get it on the
two
first
hard
one.
ones just to ensure I don't technically get the points for it.
You'll get the points for it. I'm just giving you an extra hard one. So
All right.
all right. Let's see here. All right, name that Kino.
It'd be funny if we wanted to get really complicated with this and we come up with a real tier system. Like, okay, the first one's we have 4. The first one's gonna be fucking really hard, but if you get it, you get double points. Like, like, oh god, make it like a. All right, get your ass over here now. Wall Street.
No.
I'm looking at this dated tech. Is this a police station? I'm trying to see, is this a police station? So could it be something like a RoboCop sequel or some like Red Heat type movie or
No. Like I said,
nasty.
these first two are hard. I just wanted to see
All right,
which
go ahead
I
and
didn't know which
pass.
one to do it.
Go ahead and
Okay.
pass. I mean, it's obviously old tech, so I know what era I'm dealing with, at least setting wise. Okay, stop. This fucking kid. Shit. I know this. I know this
You know
kid.
it.
I know this. It's gonna take a little pulling out of me. That fucking kid. Is this Black Phone?
No.
Fuck that kid. I know this kid. It's on the tip of my fucking tongue. This is one of the hard ones.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this. I know this fucking kid. It's fucking killing me. It's not Sleepers. That's not the kid in that. I'm just shouting off shit with kids. This kid's like a. That look on that kid's face that represents how he is in this movie. Like, I remember it's something where he's pretty combative with authority or maybe like a father figure. I don't remember, but I know what this kid sounds like. I know. Does he have an older sister? He's not an only child, like an older sister. It's not Almost Famous. God, I know what this is, but I don't. Give me another one. Damn it. I
Right.
can't even spit anything out, but I fucking know this. I would think the actor one's easier than this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the actor, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I'll
Something
give
like
you
something where
I'll give you a
witnessed
clue.
a crime, or maybe a kid accidentally partook in a crime, or fuck.
I'll give you a clue. So this one came out within the past 5 years.
Oh, I know. Is this a Mike Flanagan movie? No, that's the guy I was thinking of earlier.
Think
I,
about the theme. Think about the theme I was kind of doing here with his name, this Kino.
what was the first one again?
Babysitters.
Babysitters, and then the ward. There's a theme there.
I started off with the babysitters.
So
So
there's a
there's a
theme.
theme.
There's
There's a
a
theme with
theme.
the babysitters. Remember our conversation?
Is this the babysitter with fucking Samara Weaving?
No. Remember our conversation when we were talking about the babysitters, and when the babysitters came out,
Uh-huh.
and then we went on a rant.
I fucking know I know what this is. So something to do with a babysitter, a stepdad, something. Is it like it's you said 5 years, so it's not like damn. I know that kid. It's driving me crazy. And
No,
if
we
it
were
came out
talking about. Okay, I don't. This might be too. We were talking about Netflix. Remember?
uh-huh. Is this 1984 or whatever that fucking movie
No,
is? Summer of 84 or whatever the fuck it's
no, but
called.
that's a good guess.
It's not everybody wants some. So it's a Netflix movie?
Possibly.
Is it that Ben Affleck bartender movie?
No.
Oh, it's fucking killing me, man. Just tell me. Just go ahead. Give me the easy one because it's gonna kill me because I know I would have watched it. Whatever. God dang it! That's
Sure.
fucking young. That was young Nikki Six,
Yep.
and that's right.
Yep.
That was his asshole mom and the fucking
Mhm.
stepdads, and he like burned himself or something. Like ah,
Yeah.
fuck. How?
No. And then Vince Neil, when he got in a car wreck, killed the
Yeah,
girl.
I'd say that's kind of a loose theme. I'm thinking babysitters now. Like what Netflix is the theme?
Well, it
Dang,
was a Netflix movie. I mean,
that
and we were going on Netflix for about 20
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
So.
It's shit. I know I knew that kid, man, and it was recent enough to where it's like because I remember him like being like a little bitch
Yep.
and yelling at his fucking mom getting high or whatever. Damn, and he like cut himself or something.
Yeah,
What he
I
did. And
really
then like
enjoyed that.
called.
I thought that was a lot of fun, that
It
movie.
was a fun movie. Shit, man.
Well, you got 2 in a
Whew.
row. 2, right?
That was
2 out of 3.
what was the first one again? What was the first image?
Oh.
Get your ass over here now. I don't even remember where that was at in the film.
Uh,
That's probably when like Vince Neil's not coming to practice or whatever when the band's
yeah.
gonna break up and they're sending him a fax.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, go
Also, I gave you 2 hards.
what's that?
That's why I gave you 2 hards.
Yeah, go back again. Yeah, the kid, damn, that was the big one. Shit.
Mhm.
All right. Let me look at that last one again. The car, the Vince Neil. Okay. God dang.
I coulda did the image of the girl dead in the car. You think you
Yeah.
would have gotten that?
In my opinion, I mean, this one was fair. In my opinion, this one was also kind of harder. I don't feel like I had any mediums in this one. If anything, the kid was the one that was scratching the biggest itch because I only
Mhm.
had one actor. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
This is when I saw a car crash. I'm thinking, what is this, Nightcrawler, Jake Gyllenhaal? Like, you know,
That was
this is,
good. That'd be a good guess. Yeah.
but I knew it wasn't because I knew that kid wasn't in it. And yeah, okay, all right, moving on. Is that the last one?
Yeah. That's the
All right.
last one.
Shit. Okay. Not bad, not bad.
2 out of 3.
Did anybody
Meatloaf.
get these? Police Academy? Who gets Police Academy?
I mean,
All right, so let's go ahead and roll into it. Let's talk 2024. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. I had to write mine down. I guess my first one is coming up here real soon. I believe it's next month. And this could be anything, by the way. It could be physical media, it could be the birth of your child. It doesn't matter. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out next month, and I'm absolutely stoked for it. So a little background: the Final Fantasy remake that dropped, I want to say it was 2020, right as the lockdown started. That was in developmental hell for a long time. It was getting made, and there wasn't getting any news about it, and then it was getting outsourced. And then that went along for a while, and then Square Enix said, "You know what? Fuck it, we're gonna scrap it because they're fucking up, and we're gonna do it in house." So it started over, and that came out, and I was a bit disappointed with it because I love Final Fantasy VII, but to be fair, they broke it up. Final Fantasy VII was like a complete game, 3 discs, and they basically were giving you disc 1 as a. They expanded the first disc of the game and padded it into like a fucking 50-hour game, which is fine, but the first part of the game is linear. Like you don't even get to the open world map until disc 2. So to give me a game playing 50 hours where I'm just getting like the first part of what was in like the first 8 hours of the original game, it felt like getting blue balled. I'm like, it just felt too linear for me. It was cool, but I'm like, it had the worst side. People jerk off the game like crazy. It had terrible side quests. Find my cats. I lost my cat. Like side quests shouldn't exist unless they help build the world you're in. Some guy looking for his fucking cat. Like that's just monotonous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It pads the game. It's like, what is this? This is stupid. Now, if you're doing a side quest that helps me learn about the lore and the people that inhabit the earth, the place I'm in, that's cool. And I thought the remake of that was very fucking lazy. Anyway, I'm optimistic about the second one because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the sequel, it's basically the start of disc 2, because the first game ends right as you break out of the dome, because in Final Fantasy 7 you're in this kind of like this dome. They've got all the people in the slums in this fucking dome, and all the like nobody knows the outside world. And the end of disc 1, you break out, and then you get to explore the whole world, and that's where the real game starts, in my opinion. And that's where they fucking blue ball you. And it's like, shit, well, that's what I want to play. So this game is that. It's a giant open world thing, and I'm really, I want to go to the Golden Saucer and fucking play some games, and I'm really looking forward to it. And so I think that's mainly what hurt it, is because they didn't have the rest of the game. And who knows? I'm gonna try and replay it before this one comes out to try and get a more complete experience. But even then, they're gonna have 3 parts, so this is also gonna fucking cut me off of the dick too. It's gonna end somewhere like, but at least I'm gonna feel like I'm not constrained finding fucking cats, and I can wander an open world, and yeah. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm hoping that it's kind of like a Land of the Dead thing, where it's like, you know what, maybe I'll appreciate part 1 better when I got the other fucking piece finally, because this whole like, all in all, it's going to take me fucking 10 years to get one story. And that fucking pisses me off, man. At least when they were doing this in Hollywood, right? When they were trying to milk these franchises, like, we don't want the Harry Potter franchise to end. We don't want the cash cow of Twilight to end. We got to break up the final book into 2 movies. Part 1, Deathly Hallows Part 2. At least they were making you wait a year. They were just doing it summer, or 6 months. God dang. But literally, they make one, and then they got to develop the other one. It's like 3-4 years later. It's like, fuck me, man. But I'm stoked for it. All the same, it's coming out next month. Talk anything about that stuff? You don't know anything about that stuff?
No, I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy. I've never have been. I mean, I respect it. A lot of people are. More power to you, but I never. Really
I don't really like it anymore. But I like the old shit. Keep going to that old, like that new stuff is not good.
Keeping on the games though, I mean, one thing I am looking forward to. I know you're not a big fan of the company that's putting it out, but I do want to play Silent Hill 2, which I never played before. So that is one thing I am looking forward to playing.
It's not that I'm not a fan of Bluebird; they're just unproven.
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, it's a release. If there's one release I want this year, it's probably that one. Just because I never played it and it looks freaking awesome. So that would be one upcoming release that I will be getting for I'll be paying full price depending on the release or the reviews of it. But
I just don't want them to. It's just Konami doesn't give a shit about anything anymore. They left gaming for a handful of years, dropped off the map, and now they've come back to only kind of milk their old franchises. And we're not even necessarily getting like new stuff to those franchises. They're releasing Castlevania collections, which are great. Those are awesome, actually. Contra collections, and now we're getting remakes, which is fine. But I already made a point of saying, like, anybody, they could have gotten any big like studio to make Silent Hill remake and do it justice. And the fact that they went with Bloober tells me they're thinking with their pocketbooks, and they got somebody cheap, and it's gonna. I'm not sold that the quality control is going to be there, but I want them to prove me wrong. Of course, I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to be curious because it's great. I don't know why they didn't. I got into this with Zach once. I'm like, God, why can't they just make the first one? He's like, they already did Shattered Dimensions. They technically remade it for the Wii, but like nobody played that. And it's just like, no, the Wii was so long ago. The Wii was technically on PS2 hardware.
Yeah.
It's like it was a generation behind. Like, I think we can do it again. Like, let's start with, I want to see the first Silent Hill. I know everybody likes Silent Hill 2 even more. I've only played them both, like, extendedly once. But I'd rather start. I love the story to the first one.
They should remaster it. I'd love to buy a remaster of that too.
The second one, it kind of sucks because like I wonder how much they're gonna add to them. Probably, I'm scared they're not. I'm scared they're gonna just. I think they should do like Resident Evil and really add stuff for the seasoned players that love the franchise. But if it's just like beat by beat, that's a little disappointing because I already know the endings. Like it's like watching it's like watching a David Lynch thing. It's like a twisty turny, and there's like a twist and all this stuff. And like I said, when you see these twists and you see these endings, like I said, it's like, oh, this is like Angel Heart. This is like this. This is like that. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm looking for. I hope it's good. I hope it's
Are they
good.
coming out with a new Resident Evil game this year, or is
They
that
just came.
next year?
They just came out. Oh, maybe this year. Who knows? They're because I forgot we just started the new year. Well, I know they've been polling people and farming for interest on like the next remake people want, and
Is
with
it gonna be Code Veronica?
that's the one that has the overwhelming votes on their socials. Everybody wants
Yeah,
Veronica. That's what you got. And honestly, I think you can do Resident Evil 1 again at this
I do
point
too. I do too.
because
And Zach and them are saying, "No, they already did that." I was like, "No, they
no,
didn't."
dude, they did Resident Evil 1 for the GameCube.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that came really Resident Evil 1 came out in 96.
Yeah, I think it was 96.
Let
Yeah,
me just double check cuz 2 I think was 90. Resident Evil PS1 release date 96. And
yeah,
then the remake came out in like what, 2001?
yeah,
Like how fast that turnaround was. It
yeah.
so it's now been probably 22 years, 23. Dude, it could use an overhaul now. And I get it, they've cleaned it up and they put it out in HD form on the last gen
It's
on
still
PS4.
clunkier than hell. I mean,
No, it's great. It's great. I don't think it obviously doesn't
it's not smooth like Resident Evil 2 is now.
but what's funny is they're going to remake they're going to be open to remaking Code Veronica, which came out in the same generation and it came
Yeah,
out after the remake on a different engine. So it's like clearly if they're remaking Code Veronica, which is Dreamcast, PS2, the same gen as the remake of 1, they can remake 1 again. I think it's time cuz I would love to see yet another revisit to the
oh
first
god,
game
yeah, yeah.
cuz I love it. I absolutely love it and I love I don't want Zero. I'm not clamoring for Resident Evil Zero. It's just not my thing. If anything, I'd be interested if they came out with it if they made it better because there's like things about it I don't like. But I want Code Veronica though.
I
Code
do too.
Veronica. If that's the next one, I'm happy with that because I loved it, dude. When it came
Mhm.
out, I loved it. I had it on Dreamcast and I just thought it felt like a secret. It felt like nobody was talking about it like they were like 2 or what. I'm like, dude, this game's awesome.
Yeah,
It's just it was Resident Evil, but at the time it was the first game where they ditched the rendered backgrounds
mhm.
and it was like fully 3D, which it looks great. It's like you can't really but it was fully 3D and it still had the clunky controllers, but it was the first game in that generation where it's like, "Oh, it looks better." This is the
Oh
first game
yeah,
not
I had it on
on
PS2.
PS1.
I loved it. I loved it.
And the story, the game I'd have to go back and replay it, but to me, I remember it being much longer. It felt like it
Mhm.
really had a lot of twists and turns, and it
It
added
was longer
so
than
much.
3, that's for
It
sure.
added so much to the lore, um, and it was just really, really satisfying. I thought it was great. So yeah, and I tried to go back and play it because you can on PS4 you can download it as a PS2 title. I tried to go back and play it, and I was enjoying it, but I didn't get very far because once again the controllers are dated. I'm like, it's kind of so
You don't
yeah.
wanna ruin the experience because you know they're gonna put that out.
Yeah, so now it's like, yeah, put it out, fucking give it modern controllers, dude. I will eat that shit up because I bet that's the only thing these games need. That's the argument against remaking RE1, I guess, is they fixed it. So when they put it out in the HD ified on PS4, they gave you the option for non-tank controllers. Technically, it's totally serviceable. It's totally great and it's totally fine. They fixed the controllers. That's it. But I want to.
RE4 and RE2 look freaking beautiful, and 3. Man, they look so good. And
Yeah.
RE4, man, yeah, that was the highlight of my this past year, man. I loved playing that game. It's so much fun playing that again.
RE2 remake overtook as my favorite Resident Evil game of all time. But
I'm right there with you.
all it's going to take is if they remake RE1, well then it's probably going to go back to RE1
Yeah,
because it's just I don't know. Like RE1 is there's something about the original PS1 that I love and
yeah.
the remake is very close. Is like as far as what my favorite is, like dude, the remake of 1 it's still fucking great. But I give the nudge to RE2, but like I said, they want to put out another version of RE1, I will buy it and it'll probably be the best cuz I don't think you can beat that setting. Um
No, because I mean, even in '96, man, it scared the shit out of you. I don't remember RE2 really scaring me, but RE1 with the dogs and then the giant spiders, everything about
well,
RE1 scared the shit out of me.
RE2 doesn't feel like a horror movie.
Yeah,
RE1 feels like a horror movie cuz it's
yeah.
eerily quiet. They're
Mhm.
in this house all alone and you don't really know what's going to be around the corner. You don't know what's in these locked doors. Being in a mansion, like it's really, and you're what's left of your crew just kind of dispersed, and you don't know where the
Mm-hmm.
fuck they're at. It's really eerie. It's
Mm-hmm.
really creepy, and if anything, it gets a little less scary once you uncover the lab underneath, and you gotta get the story. It's like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
bunch of scientists.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a little less creepy. Like, oh, I kind of like the spooky atmosphere of it or whatever. But I love it. And RE2 didn't have the music of the first game. The first game
Mm-hmm.
felt it was like horror sound fucking scapes and shit like that. And
Then you
it
hear
was
the oh,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
oh jeez.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So and yeah, and it had those jump scare moments, man.
Yeah.
Not only, dude, obviously everybody talks about the fucking the dogs, but that
The
music.
crows.
Yeah, when you go out to the patio
Oh
and
yeah.
Forrest is eaten by the crows, and you hear that music, dude, it's like straight out
Mm-hmm.
of a horror movie. And then, dude, when you fight the fucking snake,
Oh
that's
yeah.
scary shit, dude. When you're in
Oh
that
yeah.
fucking attic, it's so, and it's in the remake, if you have enough ammo, it's really not hard. But dude, you don't have any fucking ammo in
No.
that first game. It's really scary when you got like fucking 5 bullets,
You got to run away and come back.
and then so it's fantastic. But I remember when I played Code Veronica when it was new to me, I'm like, holy shit, this is coming off of 3, which 3 was kind of ho hum to me.
Yeah.
It was fine, but after playing 3 and I played Code Veronica, I'm like, holy shit. At the time, I probably would have told you Code Veronica was my favorite at the time because it was
Mhm.
blowing my mind. I played it on Dreamcast where it first came out. And I'm like, so who knows if they really do a great job with Code Veronica, and they'll probably just use the same Claire model from RE2 remake. I think it's great. Bring me back to the RE2 remake. Give me that same actress.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Look
love the
great.
RE2 remake. And who knows? Maybe I'll be switching it and be like, dude, I don't know, this fucking game is pretty top tier. So, and they can make Steve Burns not be annoying because he's like the other. Help me! He looks like
Yeah.
John Connor, dude.
Mhm.
He's so annoying. So just give him a different voice actor and do him up differently. He'll be fine too. But okay,
They don't need to remake anything after Code Veronica, I don't think.
no, but they'll do 5.
See, I never got into 5.
It's not good. It just became a shooter.
Yeah.
It's just whatever. My second one is, and this isn't like ironclad, but and the only reason why I say I have hope is I believe the estate and the camp has quote unquote confirmed it. The only reason I'm like hesitant is they've been trying to get this to happen. I remember 8 years ago the parties at B said it was coming out very soon, and it never did 8 years later. So them saying it's finally coming out, I do have faith it's coming out, and now's the time. But finally, after 23 years of waiting, supposedly the Pantera home video is coming out, the new one.
Volume 3 or all 3? What?
Because they had home videos for every album.
I have the DVD.
Yeah, no, that compiles all 3.
Yeah.
But they never had they didn't finish Trendkill, and they never did. They had home videos for Reinventing the Steel. We never got to see.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the 4th home video.
Oh, sweet.
They never released it. And Rita is Dime's girlfriend. She's the estate. She's had it. She's like, yeah, there's a home video. We've got it. It's like, what? And I remember like 8 years ago when she was saying, yeah, it's coming out real soon. She was saying the problem was, the powers that be were saying there's no market for DVDs. And that she was right. Nobody was really buying live concert because YouTube had already taken over in the late 2000s.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, why? Even me, it's like you can watch Pantera, watch it go on YouTube. Why would I pull out an old ghetto DVD? So I get it, but apparently, this is the year, and it would be smart because this is the year of Pantera. That they're out there, the reunion, the tribute. It's like now, it's like the interest is there. Put it out, and don't just put it out. Put out a package. I get it. Like this stuff. It doesn't need to be on 4K because it's just camcorder footage.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't care.
Throw it on Blu-ray. Yeah.
I want a cool set.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the new one and put it in a new set. And I would love to watch them. Because the 3 Watch It Go, that DVD set, dude, that is such a cool DVD, man.
It's great, man.
I
I still watch it. I watched it a few years ago.
It's they just stacked one, two, and three next to each other. So you're just watching them
Mhm,
in sequence. I would love to watch that and just have a new chapter at the end.
mhm.
Because I mean, think about it. I want to see all the reinventing the steel stuff of them on Ozfest 2000. I want to see Phil's like fucking Charlie Manson death metal phase
Oh, I
because he
love
went
that.
that
Yeah.
big beard and he was like, he was just like he had a different vibe. I want to see all that, man. I want to see the Extreme Steel tour. I want to see footage because they went out in the states. They went out with Slayer and Soulfly and Morbid Angel. I want to see that footage, man. Um, so there's just a lot of stuff that for a band as heralded as they are, they never came out with a live album, a live concert DVD. That's the closest you get is in those home videos. Like the fact that there's
The
content
101
that
Proof was never DVD.
nope,
Oh,
nope. I wish, but
yeah.
there is a guy that just put up on YouTube. He painstakingly went through the process of cleaning it up and like HDified it. It's a show from the Vulgar tour when Vulgar first dropped, and it's at a club. This guy he had a fucking arm cannon camcorder, and this whoever had the footage cleaned it up. It looks awesome. It looks great. I watched the whole thing a couple nights ago, and it looks so good to where this could have been like 10 years ago. And it's just them playing nothing but stuff off Cowboys and Vulgar. So you're hearing like, you're hearing like stuff that they wouldn't play out later when they came out with more albums. You're hearing like what kind of Heresy. You're hearing shit like that mixed in with like the new songs. And Phil, just seeing Phil like jumping off the fucking risers and the stacks, kicking his legs, dude, and fucking going crazy. I'm like, damn, man. It's funny to watch people in their youth, man, just how much energy they had in their early 20s.
I was trying
Uh,
to offer. So I was on eBay not too long ago. I was trying to offer some guy. He's selling. So he made the Woodstock '99 Blu-ray of the pay-per-view, um, with all the bands and all their set lists and everything that they had recorded on there.
and he cleaned
And
it
I
up.
think, yeah, I think he was asking like $50 for it. So I was trying to talk him down, and he never went below what I wanted to pay for it. But that would have been freaking cool, you
Do you
know.
know? Do you know if he actually restored it or cleaned it up, or is it just like ripped from the foot? Did you just throw it on a disc, like
I
recorded
don't
off
know.
TV?
I don't know that. So I didn't. I mean, it looks like he sells a lot of like the bootleg like concert stuff. So I don't know how good it looks. I mean, I've looked on YouTube, and it doesn't look terrible, but I mean, it's not like cleaned up that much. So
And it's the
I
actual
don't
one
know.
he uses.
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
Do you really
So
want 3 days of everybody? You want the whole thing?
I want to see it all, man.
You want Cheryl Crow, dude?
Yeah, I'd watch it.
I did you rent that on pay per view back in the day or no?
Yeah,
Because I
I saw
did.
maybe one of the days. I think I saw one of the days.
It was the summertime, and I've sold this story. My dad tasked me. My dad had to work. He got it on pay per view, and he couldn't be around to watch it because he had to work. He tasked me with taping, not the whole thing, but he gave me a list. Like, here's the bands and here's the artists I want you to tape. But I still watched the whole damn thing, and I had to keep up with the schedules, and I had to keep up. I had to be ready for it. And I fucking like had to get the tapes ready. And yeah, I remember. I of course had to tape Metallica. I had to tape Offspring. I know he liked them. I think I had to tape. I think I had to tape Rage Against the
Creed,
Machine. No. Oh, you
Godsmack.
know what? My mom probably asked me to tape Creed because my mom fucking loved Creed. But I remember like live, love,
Uh,
love, like doing a chant like it's fucking
yeah,
hippie bullshit.
that was cringe. Yeah, that was here. This is here. I'll show you the posting.
Okay, I was about to say don't play it because we'll get taped.
No,
All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, is it complete?
yeah. So this
It is.
is the complete live pay per view telecast
So
Blu-ray
it's
box set.
it's everything. It's like
Everything.
even it's all the debauchery when you got like MTV there and people groping tits right
62
there.
hours of footage, 4 dual layer Blu-ray discs.
Shit, that's cool.
I know.
Go. Let me see that.
See, what I didn't understand is they have Metallica on disc 3 next to the
mhm.
Chemical Brothers, and then they also have on disc 4. Did they play 2 days?
Where's disc 4? Where does it show? Where does it show them on disc 4? I see
Um,
disc 3. You see Megadeth twice. Megadeth is listed twice.
oh, maybe that's Megadeth.
Look. Red Hot Chili Peppers and Megadeth are listed twice next to each other.
Yeah.
See? So there's, but on the top, it says, see, on the bottom, it says Collective Soul, RHCP Megadeth, but now it says Collective Soul, Creed, Godsmack, RHCP Megadeth. So it's just,
Typo.
yeah, that's not a really, not a lot of attention to detail, I guess, but a little misleading too. Like, oh, I get 2 sets from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh yeah, I want that Megadeth set, dude. See fucking
Oh,
Marty
yeah.
Freeman with his like Jimi Hendrix
The
fro.
fro, dude.
He looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I see with the lazy old dickhead. Ho 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 ho. That's classic, dude.
Yeah. Oh, here's the description. 62 hours. Love, mayhem, and more. Professionally filmed dual air.
Yeah. I think it always drives you crazy when they just jumble a bunch of names in there. Either do it alphabetical or do it, at least put the headliners last. Like kind of like do some order. Because Chili Peppers headlined night 4, and then Megadeth was before Chili Peppers. Metallica headlined night 3. I believe. Where's Korn? Was Korn on night?
Korn's disc 1. It says ICP. I didn't know they played there.
Yeah, they were there. They were throwing Fago and everything. I remember seeing it. Where Limp Bizkit was Limp Bizkit on Metallica Day or Korn Day? Where's Limp Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit. Right here, disc 2. Ice Cube, Alanis Morissette, Kid Rock, Bush.
Yeah, I remember. I watched Ice Cube's set playing in the middle of the afternoon.
I remember DMX. Where my dogs at?
Yeah, I remember that. I rember. Yeah, Dave Matthews. I know he played there, but I don't remember. Maybe I took a shit.
I remember that set. Yeah.
Tragically Hip Canadian band. I remember
Wyclef Jean.
I had to tape the Kid Rock set. I remember that.
Bruce Hornsby did. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah. I
Los Lobos. Yeah, okay.
Los Lobos. You had. I remember Chemical Brothers. They like played after hours, like at 2. The raves kind of went on, so they had like rave people.
Did any of the bands play together? Is that why they did this? Like, did Los Lobos play with Ice Cube or something?
No, they did not.
Okay.
They did not. No, they didn't. Elvis Costello, Jewel, Seven Dust. I remember I taped the Seven Dust set. I think my dad liked it or wanted to see it. Everlast was there. God, that dates it. Rusted Root. I almost said Roasted Root. Our Lady Peace. That's dated. Our Lady Peace is on there multiple times.
Yeah, Counting Crows.
Yeah.
Why is Los Lobos on just 2 and 3? See, this is all weird.
Look, and yeah, like there's multiple bands that are. It's all fucked. I
get
it. What it's not official, so what can you expect? But take a little pride, you know.
Like, I know that's why I never.
Yeah, I mean, if he can't do a typo, like how much care is going to be in this package? Does he have a lot of good reviews?
I think so. Let me see.
Look, go down. It says, what's the tag on it? He says, 62 hours of peace, love, mayhem, and more. More like peace, love, caught on tape grape. Like, dude, it's funny what people were doing on MTV, on live TV, like touching tit, groping girls from behind. Like, oh yeah, it's coming up behind. And it's just like everybody's part of it. Like, what the hell is this? You cannot do that.
Oh, this guy got it. A+ as described. Great seller. Huh.
Nobody talks about the typos and
Brilliant shit. Find. Arrive fast, save. Hey, don't give me anything.
No, I mean, dive in, take a chance. Let's see what's going on.
I don't know, dude.
I mean, I'll just YouTube the ones I want to see. I'm not gonna. When am I gonna take 3 days and just binge watch the fucking? Pretend like it's 1999 all over again. Act like I got it on pay-per-view and watch it all day for 3 days.
I don't know. I want to see the mayhem. I want to see the other stuff too, because I mean, it's not just the sets. Like they cut in between. They add a bunch of shit.
all the stuff. I watched the pay-per-view. It was all the people, the interviews. It's like it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. But
I'd love to see that stuff.
So I don't remember, because they did have that stuff, but how do they do that when music was going all the time? But I seem to remember you watching. What did they like abbreviate some people's sets, or did they not show some people? Is that possible?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember seeing Bruce Hornsby. Is it possible they cut some people out for that shit?
They could have.
because they didn't interrupt that with the sets you saw. They did not interrupt Ice Cube. They weren't interrupting Peppers. They weren't interrupting Metallica. They didn't interrupt. So anyway, good to know. Hold on. So who went last? Oh, that was I did with Pantera, and it brought you to that. So what's your next one?
My next one, yeah, let me pull it up. Here, I'm gonna present my screen. This is my next one.
Oh shit, that should have made mine. I saw it. Spoiler. I'm gonna add that to mine too right now, retroactively. Go ahead, put it back.
So
Hell yeah.
this is coming out this year. I listened to a podcast where the guy who's coming out with it was talking about it, and he's saying that he's gonna have 3 different editions. It's gonna be like the Arrow box set, like Arrow limited edition boxes. So it's gonna be nice sets,
Good.
4K sets.
I'll buy the
And
nicest one.
I think it's coming with the soundtrack as well. So
I like on CD.
yeah, so I think they're gonna throw that in there too.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think that's why they're taking more time with it, because I think they're trying to get the soundtrack on there as well, and I think they got it. And I'm trying to think if they got. He's trying to get some stuff with Ozzy, I believe, because Ozzy's been doing conventions. And I think they're trying to talk to Ozzy. So
You
I'm
don't
not
fucking remember this shit. He probably showed up for fucking 4 hours one day. It's like one day of work.
Well, they probably want like the 1-minute clip and the special features. I don't know, but
Interesting.
Yeah. So
well, hey, Rye Dog, G Love and Special Sauce. Yeah, they were on that bill. He says I traded Half Baked on VHS for the VHS Woodstock film. It was only a song for most of the bands. They had a DVD.
I had that DVD. Yeah,
the DVD. Yeah, I remember they had like Metallica, Creeping Death, right?
Yep.
Did they have 2 Metallica songs or just the one?
Just the one, and that's what actually got me into Metallica growing up, was the Creeping Death performance.
Because that's when you could see like in that edit where Jason Newsted's like mouth in the words.
Yeah. Mother.
But he's singing like James is singing. He's like, and he's like singing to himself.
Woodstock. Yeah.
Let's see. And I remember that's a very unique show because that's the only time James did a shout out to a fan. Like when they were playing what's it called? The fucking Bob Seger song, Turn the Page. When they're starting it, James goes, "This one's for Amanda."
Really?
Yeah, he's like, "This is for Amanda." Like, whoa, that's weird. He must have like, saw a fan or what? Yeah, but still, he's never done that. Like this one goes out to. It was just interesting. No big deal. Yeah, I'm stoked for this. This should have been on my list, and it totally is. This is actually pretty high on the list, actually, and it makes me happy knowing if they're really going to release a really cool package because I want a great package.
Yeah, you're saying there's 3 different options they're going to release. So,
and I don't mind stuff getting the credit it's due. I think it's great. This movie is finding its audience, and it's become a cult classic now. But I at least have the pleasure of saying I was in before the getting got good. I was in this before this shit happened, but I think this is awesome.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I'm glad it's getting appreciation, and good for Skippy. Good for Mark Price.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be good business for Mark Price.
Well, they were saying he was saying that Mark Price called them up like day one because he wanted to do the special features because he's going to be making. I think so. Yeah. When he heard it was going to be released. Yeah.
That's kind of sad, but it is good for him.
Skippy needs work, man.
It's good for conventions. He'll get booked on conventions more because he hasn't done like a lot. He'll start, and we saw he's at what is he at the one here that we saw in the spring, June, and Days of the Dead or whatever. Yeah, he'll do more of those, and he'll have more people wanting his autograph because it was pretty pathetic when we went there.
We're the only ones that talked to him.
I mean, and even then it was kind of starting like but since then, dude, there has been more and more trick or treat love, more and more people pumping out merch, printing T-shirts. It's a thing now. So good for Mark Price. That's the real winner here. Isn't it funny? That's how much I can disassociate myself from like the actual movie, the art, and the people that make them because I really don't care about. I don't care. I've never cared about actors. I just like the product. I really like the art and stuff like that.
I like the directors too, man.
No, but I mean I do, but like I care more about the product. I'm a fan of what is created. But It's so funny. Like I love Ragman. I love
Oh
that
yeah,
movie, but I
yeah,
could give two fucks about Mark Price. Isn't that weird?
yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, dude, I
Yeah,
love Ragman. You are not him. You, you're a guy that fucking shortchanged me, and I had to correct you. Like, hey, can you know? So it's weird how I don't know. I just don't get too like starstruck. I guess with like, oh, the guy. But anyway, that's a good one.
what's
I
your
I
next
should
one?
I should have put that on my list. I'm gonna go kind of in line with what I said last week with Mike Portnoy, but I'm stoked for the new DT album, Dream Theater, with Mike Portnoy back. I'm excited. It's got to come out this year. They haven't announced it, but they're gonna start writing. They're starting writing now, and they've been known to fucking pump out albums in like 2 months. It'll be out this year, so I'm stoked. There's not a whole lot much more to add to it. I'm just a huge fan of that band, and they've kind of, to me and my fandom, they're not asleep because they've been coming out with albums every 2 to 3 years since he left the band. But for me, it's like they've been asleep, and now it's gonna be excited to see all the fandom excited. I want to go see him live again. So that's it. What's your next one?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. So
I
this
do.
one's
Go ahead.
this one's coming out the end of January, and I am excited that it's finally coming out because Kino is putting out some really good stuff, and I know you're gonna be excited when this comes out.
Yeah. Are the pre-orders up for that?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Yeah.
can't. I honestly can't remember if I pre-ordered it or not. I might have already pre-ordered it. I sometimes I pre-order and I forget about it. But I love it. And you know what I like about this cover is, if I feel like there's a lot of movies that would be a similar premise, but on the cover there will be Arnold surrounded by kids that weren't in the movie. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You know how they do that? Like it's like a
yeah,
totally different shoot day. We don't have those kids anymore. Let's get models. Oh, but these kids aren't even in the movie. These are the kids that are in the movie. I love it.
mhm,
You have Miko Hughes between under his dick, lucky man, lucky man, right under that sausage, dude. And then and you have Emily from Beethoven,
yeah,
and that's I'm pretty sure the kid on the right, that's Zach, that was getting abused. Like
mhm,
he hits the child, I hit him.
yeah.
It's like
That is Zach.
I
Yep.
oh, he go, I hit you. You hit the child, I hit you. Yeah. So and I think the kid on the left, the boy, is the kid looking up the skirts, right? I think
Mhm.
that's he's a doo doo head. He's a poo poo head. I don't know. Maybe that's Zach. The one
No,
with
it's
the one on the right with the blue stripes, he's the one that called him a poo poo head. He's a poo poo
yeah,
face. Yeah, anyway. So I like this cover. I'm looking for, and you know what? Take note, everybody, and James Cameron and Fox. Don't change the original covers if they're good.
yeah.
I don't
No, it's a
understand
great
that.
cover.
It's like don't change it. It tells you exactly everything you need to know.
Yeah, he's all disheveled. He looks like a parent with a, grabbing the shirt with his hair all messed up. I love it.
Yeah. This should be your job. You should be reading stories about bears that go shopping.
Well,
Yeah, so if I gotta double check to see if I pre-ordered that. If not, I gotta get on it. But hell yeah. And another one, my other one is gonna be a movie. Now this one, I don't know what to expect. It's not like I'm banking on it being amazing, but I'm cautiously optimistic and I'm curious. And that's for Fede Alvarez's new Alien movie, Alien Romulus. So my take is they can't really do any more damage to the IP. So
yeah,
it can only be up from here. So and it doesn't nothing's ever going to be Alien or Aliens. Nothing's ever going to be those first two movies. So I'm a guy that finds enjoyment out of Alien Resurrection. And I get it. Don't take it too seriously. Check your brain out. It's almost like Alien Resurrection is basically like a comic book. It's like a story out of the Aliens comics that were not canon to the movies, and they got real crazy with the story. Jump into the future, Ripley's a clone. One of those like non-canon things you'd see in like a comic spin-off. That's what it feels like to me, and I have fun with it. I have no problem with it. So just give me a fun movie at this point. I'm not expecting high art. I'm not expecting the Ridley Scott. We've done it. But
yeah,
give me a movie, even give me Alien 3. Just give me a fun Alien movie that feels like Alien, because Covenant did not feel like it was just like mindless shit, but it didn't feel like an Alien movie at all because you had CGI aliens. The aliens were completely CGI.
hmm,
There was no practical fucking animatronic, nothing. It was all CGI aliens. They were doing things that I've never seen because they were CGI. You had them like crawling all over the fucking ship like a spider, going on the fucking front and bashing their head. I'm like, I've never seen an alien move like this in any of the movies because they couldn't. Obviously, they pretty much stuck with close-ups of the creatures and quick shots, and I love it. And they could have helped so much just by not cheaping out. Like, fine, if you're gonna do mostly CGI, just build a fucking couple of models and get us some close-ups like they would do. Just to cut in there, just to help suspend the disbelief a little for me. But it was like a mindless fucking. It just didn't feel like Alien. So Alien Romulus, Fede Alvarez. I'll take or leave him. I don't. I at this point I don't think I love or hate the Evil Dead remake, but it's just whatever. I don't give
It's
a
a
shit
7. It's a 7 out of 10. It's not great, but it's not.
See, our scales are different. A 7 is good for me.
Are they? Oh, I was talking about Evil Dead Rise.
No,
I haven't seen the remake since the first came out.
but I don't have anything against Fede Alvarez. I don't like Rise. I didn't like Rise, but and then I liked Don't Breathe. I thought that was fun. That was Fede's other movie. I thought that was fun. I thought it was totally serviceable. So I'm like, you know what? Why not give him a shot? It's not like I'm going to see his name attached to him. Like, God, this is going to be a fucking shit. They've already made shithole movies. You know who made really bad movies? Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott made Covenant. It was fucking terrible. And this is the guy. This is why I'm not necessarily a huge stan for the directors, because it's not really about them. It's about the collective. It's like that perfect chemistry of who's working on what project, and you get magic. But anyway, so I'm like, why not give Fede a shot? Maybe he'll do it great. Maybe he'll do better than the progenitors at this point. But the downside is it's going straight to Hulu, and I'm like, so it's going to be like Predators, the Predator movie, right?
Yeah.
Which was fine. Prey. It was Prey. Prey was fine. But what was Prey? It was a giant CGI predator.
Yeah, it was forgettable.
But they did that again, where it's like it was CGI predator. I'm like, God, the whole fucking the CGI was so bad. I'm like, dude, like how hard is it to fucking hire a Stan Winston type dude and fucking put a guy in a costume? For fuck's sake. Like, don't do the whole movie like that, but just hire a guy, put him in a costume, get close-ups. How hard is this? I don't understand it. We're at this point where they feel like if people see something practical, it's going to take the modern audience out of it because it's like, oh, it's fake. We have to have a cartoon in front of us. It has to be CGI. They're so numb to CGI now. It's like, I don't understand this. Like, that's
it's cheaper.
I don't understand it, man. But how?
I don't either.
Dude, like, how much money could it really cost to fucking hire a guy to fucking make the costume? It's not, you're not blowing up buildings. Yeah. You're just making a costume. Make the costume. It only costs a certain amount of money. Make your movie infinitely better for it and just add some shots of it. I don't understand. So I'm really hoping the new Alien movie isn't, I don't mind if they use CGI. Like I accept the era we're in, but they could do like Alien 3. Alien 3 didn't do, I mean, Alien 3 was early 90s, so it wasn't CGI, but it was like, where they had like the blue screen and they had like the fucking stop motion thing. So, but it kind of was like the CGI of like the turn of the 90s. That they didn't do any of that shit in Alien or Aliens, and they did in Aliens 3, and it would be a little jarring, and I guess it kind of is, but they don't do too much of it. Like they still have like the close-ups of the practical alien, like that classic shot of it going next to Ripley's face, breathing. They used that newer technology so they could show it running, like because it was like a dog hybrid. Yeah. So they were trying to like do stuff they couldn't do in the past, because if James Cameron had his way, he's obviously a big fan of revisionist history. He would go back and do a George Lucas and CGI aliens. So because he probably wishes I could show him running and climbing up walls. I couldn't do that back then. I'm like, but it was way scarier when he didn't show him a lot. It's like when you limit them, like, yeah, maybe you can't show him jumping across the walls and shit like that, but you can have the fucking monster emerge from the water behind Newt. That's fucking scary as shit. That is the best shot. That's one of the best shots in all of cinema, in my opinion. For me, for my money, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's focused on Newt in the water, Ripley, and then it's like out of focus, and all you see that fucking beat. That's so cool. And you know what? If they would have had the technology, maybe they wouldn't have done that. Maybe they'd been like, hey, let's fucking like have it CGI running across the ceiling like a spider. Like, no, it's like, this is fucking lame. And instead you have like in the corridor when when they're setting them up for a trap because they know they're being tracked, and you see that quick shot of all of them walking, like crawling through the corridor. It's just guys in costumes, but it looks
Yeah.
so creepy. I'm like, dude, like who cares? Who cares if we can't see him from the waist down? I don't give a fuck. It's like we don't have to see him, man.
They
Anyway,
can't get it on their own way. They're not going to do that. I wish they would, but they're not.
I have hope for it. He's setting this. Fede Alvarez said this one takes place between Alien and Aliens, which, you know what? If somebody handed me the franchise, I'd probably do that too. Like, what else can you do? Like, I gotta do something. Like, we gotta like somehow distance. What better way than to distance it as far as possible from all those sequels? It takes place in between the two good ones. Let's do
Yeah.
that. Even though it's not gonna have any of the same characters, I think it's just him saying that is like fan service. Like, yeah, it takes place between them. I'm trying to like make it part of the lore. But I don't care. It doesn't have to have all those characters. I don't need Ripley. I don't need. Just give me a fun alien movie that at least tries to attempt the tone and gives a good tone. Like basically, I have hope for Fetty because Ridley Scott's delusional. He's an old guy. He's just fucking whatever. He's probably not different from a James Cameron, where it's like, get off stage, Grandpa. You don't need to go back and fix your projects. I would rather somebody that's a little younger and maybe is a fan
Mhm.
try their hand at it, but also have little to no studio interference. Like just let like if I would love it, dude. I would take it in a heartbeat. If somebody said, I get it. Part of if somebody offered a director trying to make their own way a sequel opportunity in a dying franchise like Alien, part of you's like, God, dude, the stigma attached to that because you know it's gonna because there's just so many. It can't be good, right? It can't. It's not gonna be great. But if you're a fan, like, how could you say no to that? Like, you're always gonna think like, I could fix it. I'm gonna fucking do it. You want to be that guy that fucking makes the good movie. I'm gonna make the fucking first good alien movie in 25 years, and then all studios get involved, whatever, and it doesn't happen. But I have hope. He released a couple of teaser shots. It wasn't much. It was just like teaser photos. From the photos, the sets do look like aliens, like the actual ship sets.
Mhm.
That doesn't tell me much, but it's like, come on, like I'm really hoping. I don't know if there's been any hearsay about like we're using practical or CGI. My only thing I'm kind of disappointed in is I would love to see an alien movie in the theater. I would love it. I'd be like, even if it's not, I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I would love to go into a theater hoping for the best and seeing an alien movie on the big screen.
When's the last time you've seen a sci-fi movie in the theater, though? They don't come out with
Prometheus,
sci-fi.
Prometheus.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long
It's
time ago.
yeah, but I would love it for better or worse. I would love
It's
to go see a
hard
new
enough to get
alien.
horror movies in the theater anymore.
I would love to go see a new alien movie for better or worse in a theater. So I don't know why. They've done that a couple. They've done a couple of about faces in recent history with like Thanksgiving, and I know there's another movie. I can't think of it. That was a big movie that they about faced and said we're not putting it on a streamer. We're going to put it in theaters. Like they changed their mind and course corrected, and it did well. I
Yeah.
kind of hope they do that because that is the exception. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to sit at home and watch a new Alien movie because there's like little investment, whatever. But that's one of the movies that like I will go see that in theater. I would rather go see that in a cinema. And even if it goes on Hulu and a cinema, I think I would actually make the choice to go watch it on a theater and just hope for the best, like I said. So cautiously curious and optimistic about it. And hopefully, like I said, he can't do much worse. Like how much fucking worse can he do? And I like the title. They're going they're doing this thing. It's kind of like Covenant and Prometheus where obviously Romulus is the name of the ship. He's kind of doing that again, which I thought Ridley Scott dropped the ball where it's like, "Hey, I'm calling this Prometheus." I thought that was a great title. And you find out it's the name of the ship. Okay, makes sense. And the next one's like Alien Covenant. Ugh. Like the studios had to put Alien in the title. Like we need some
Mhm.
interest. Let's put the name in there. Like it kind of just broke it. It broke the fucking what he was going for. So, but anyway, it is what it is. What's your next one? I've only got one more after this. I'll briefly talk about.
So I have this one and one more. So this is one I'm looking forward to, man. This set's coming out. We both pre-ordered, I think. And I love the first one. Second one's not greatest.
Oh yeah, sorry.
But I am looking forward to the set. look forward to seeing coming out in 4K. Um, I want to see what kind of special features are going to come out with this thing, man.
Yeah,
Um, what is it going to be all about? I bet the transfer is going to look beautiful.
I
I can
hope
already see
so.
it.
I can't say I'm looking forward to it. This is like I think it's cool. I think it's great that we got it for a pretty good deal, right? It was like cheaper than the Blu-ray. It was priced pretty good, at least what I pre-ordered it for. And I've always liked the first Conan. It's not a movie I've seen a lot like other Arnold movies. I've seen it a couple of times in my day. And the second one's not very good. I've watched that once, but this will be one of those ones where it shows up on my doorstep, like, oh, sweet, what? But I'm not like counting down the days for it. But hopefully, it looks fantastic. Arrow has great sets, so hopefully, it looks fantastic.
I've always held out because I loved the first Conan as a kid, but I haven't really gone back to it since. But now that they're coming out with a nice set in 4K, I'm like, yes, I am really looking forward to rewatching
It's
this.
just a movie they would never make today.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would never. They don't make fantasy movies like this anymore. They're not going to make Beastmaster and put it in the theaters. These
yeah.
kind of flicks. It's interesting. It's a real product of its time, and the first one really is a joy. So, no, it's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of good releases coming out, and my last one isn't anything tangible. It's just like a goal, something I want to do this year with the podcasting and the channel. And I think I hinted at this last year and we never really did it, but I kind of want to get back. I want to go back in time like 12 years, and I don't I like what we're doing. I love these podcasts, these nice chill sessions. And I'm not saying I want to go back and do what we did. I don't want to do interviews. I don't want to do all shit. But what I think would be cool to do is to network a little more and find some other like-minded podcasts and see if bring some people on the show, like
Yeah,
make
no, I agree.
friends, like
Yeah,
like we used to do that with the Exploited guy. We kind of stopped, and it hasn't been like that in a long time. And that's going to be like two birds one stone, because on one hand, that's how we're going to grow.
hmm,
We have to start doing it. But I also want to. It'd be nice to have I love Zach, I love Mac, I love our crew. But like, I think it's time to open the door a little bit and get some new people in here.
I'm down for
And
that.
and I don't know if you listen to any podcasts that are obtainable. Like, we're not going to get fucking but like just kind of like medium sized podcasts or small. And and that doesn't mean we can't shoot a little high, but not like stratosphere. But we can. But that we got to network. We got to make friends. So do you know anybody like you'd want? We got to start reaching out to people.
Yeah, I mean, I watch quite a bit of podcasts. I'll try to figure out which ones would actually gel with us. So I'll take a look at that and I'll let you know.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna try and keep my pulse on that too. I think I've been pretty guilty about. I don't think in the last couple of years I've been listening to a lot of podcasts that talk about what we talk about, that are kind of like on our level. I think I've fallen off on that a little bit, but I need to. I need to start listening to more. But no, and if anybody out there's listening, man, I want more people on the show. I want to talk to some new blood. I want to, get some new fresh opinions. I know what Zach is into, man. When I'm talking to Todd, I know what he's into. I would love to have a wild card thrown in, have a couple of guests, and get some fresh perspective. Let's bring some people on, and
I'm
it could
down
just
for
be
that.
it could be for a commentary. We can bring them on video rot. I don't care. I just I want to do more collaborating. So that's an open invitation to anybody out there. And you don't even have to have a show. You know, I mean, hopefully you're well spoken enough. But dude, come on. If you guys listen to the show and you guys want to come onto the stream and you think you can hang, or you want to talk about anything in particular, reach out to us, because
Yeah.
I'm open now more than ever. I went through a big long period where I kind of didn't want to talk. I didn't want to. The gates were closed. I kind of liked what we were doing. I was kind of tired, but I'm open to it, man. So message us. Message us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And one of us will respond to you. And if you have a show or like a podcast, or you do something with your friend or YouTube video, you don't have to share a link, man. So that's my goal as far as the show for this next year.
Sounds good. Before we do choose your destiny, I have one more. This
Okay.
is the release of the year that everybody's gonna pick up. I know you're gonna pick up.
True
And
lies. I'm just kidding.
no, I know
It's
you're
funny how
very
we're not looking
excited.
forward to that. Okay, go ahead.
You're really excited about this. And don't look at the
Oh, you're
photo,
trolling me. You're trolling me.
but hit the share screen button. It's the Smurf Van Dam.
Oh, Dude, and I see all these people, not
Oh,
kickboxer, but I saw a lot of people talking about their year ends and like, and people put it on these like groups and shit, and people are putting in the blood sport. Like, dude, I don't want to get that blood sport because I'm just holding my breath, and I know if I crack and get that blood sport, that foreign, it's gonna get a
I'm
U.S.
gonna
release.
wait. Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
wait too.
wait.
Yeah,
Dude, I want it to get picked up by, dude. Dare I say it? This might be a stretch. I think Bloodsport could easily be comfortable on Criterion.
I think
I
they can. I think they could do better. Criterion's packaging though is
no no
not.
no 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 no. I agree. The pack. I'm not talking about that. I give it. I'll take
Give it
Arrow.
to
I'll take
Vinegar. Give it to Vinegar Syndrome, man. They can come out with some
Vinegar's not gonna
crazy.
get Bloodsport, dude.
Hey, they got Roadhouse. They got. They've been getting some big stuff lately.
I'm
So
just saying, like Kickbox. I'm sorry, Bloodsport. I think is one of those movies where if it was on a label like, I think it could. Because they're not. Criterion's not going to put out fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, right? It's a certain type of film. I think you could put Bloodsport on Criterion. I think it's culturally significant. I feel like it is. I
I
don't
think
want it on
Arrow
Criterion.
Arrow would get it, or I don't think Criterion because those
I look,
Criterion
you're
people. I don't know.
you're not seeing my point. I'm not saying I want it on Criterion. I'm not saying I wouldn't rather have a big fatty Bobatti Arrow box set or whatever. Of course I do. I'm just saying it's that kind of movie where I think it could be on Criterion and it not be out of place. Like somebody needs to fucking put it out. Is what I'm saying. I don't give a shit at
Yeah,
this point. Put it out. The movie's a classic. It is a benchmark, and it made his whole career, and it still stands the test of time. And it just inspired so many copycats. So many type. It to me, it's like Die Hard created the modern action movie, and pretty much anything terrorist related, taking over a building. You do it after Die Hard, and it's now cliche. Bloodsport is the quintessential tournament movie.
oh yeah,
I get it. You have Enter the Dragon, but to me, Bloodsport is just a certain type of vibe.
it's way
Uh,
better than Enter the Dragon.
and I want it. I want it terribly bad, and I think it deserves a great It's not does not deserve packaging like this. I want
Smurf Van Dam, dude. God, it
like
looks horrible.
they really need to pay attention. I'm like, dude, the people that are gonna buy this on 4K. If you were just a casual fan, you're gonna stream it. If you're a casual fan that kind of likes owning shit, that's who this Walmart bullshit's for.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like, dude, if somebody put it out in 4K, you're only going to sell a certain amount of copies because we're just a certain amount of people. Fucking go all out. I will pay the money for a really fucking sweet collection of this movie. A real
no,
go
I
all.
agree.
I
I'm with
want
you.
I want special features. Give me a packaging.
Fat book, dude.
I
Everything.
will
Yeah, I
go
agree.
all out. I will go all out on it. And fuck, do that with Kickboxer too. I don't care.
Yeah, dude.
I
Yeah,
love Kickboxer, but I get it. Kickboxer's not quite the cultural significance of Bloodsport, but yeah, no, that's a great one. So let's end it with Choose Your Destiny.
all right.
I don't want you to forget. I'm dead serious about that. My goal of networking more to the fact that I want to do every month. I want to try and reach out to somebody every month, and I think we both should. I think we should both make a point of making a note and reaching out to, put those lines out there.
Yeah, I'll start looking around and I'll throw some ideas at you. Okay, so this Choose Your Destiny is. I don't know how big of fan you are into classic horror, but
Oh,
Bela Lugosi or Boris Karloff.
okay. They're both on kind of on par, but I'm gonna go Dracula, the OG. Are you talking about the character or the movie?
Both.
Well, if we're talking about the movies, I'm gonna say the original Dracula. Uh, if we were saying Dracula versus Bride of Frankenstein, then it might be a different story. But as far as the original Frankenstein, I think Dracula is definitely better. As far as God, they're both so good. Like Boris Karloff, he's he's absolutely who the bub actor was trying to tap into because he a physical performance unlike nobody without real words. I mean, in Bride of Frankenstein, he says a couple of things. He
Yeah.
talks a little bit, but like he's so good with so little. Um, but then he's got to go up against Bela Lugosi, who just chews it up, dude.
Oh yeah.
So we're splitting hairs here. I get it. Frankenstein's monster wasn't able to talk, so I don't know if I should give him more props for being able to convey that much with just physical. But I have to give it to Bela. Bela is fucking awesome, really, really, really good.
He is, but I've always been a Boris Karloff guy, so I love Frankenstein. The story of Frankenstein.
I don't know if
Boris
we're talking about
Karloff.
the character or the actor. I don't know what you're talking about. The actor.
He is Frankenstein. It's either Frankenstein or Dracula. But Bela Lugosi is Dracula.
So yeah, then I got it. But we're not talking about Boris, because Boris Karloff played more than Frankenstein.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So it's like in these particular two roles.
Yeah.
I mean, Boris Karloff was the Mummy, right? So it's like in these two roles, I just think that I have to give the nudge to Bela Lugosi, man. I just think
there's not a wrong answer here. I mean, I'm right with her. Bela Lugosi is phenomenal, but I always was fond of Frankenstein, Boris Karloff, but
yeah, I don't know. They're both good.
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna go Bela, but it's not gospel. They're both good.
No, they're both fantastic.
And this is arguably the only one where it would be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it's really a contest with Lon Chaney.
Well, I like Lon Chaney Wolfman. It's cool, but it's not
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, but I'm saying I don't think it's really I think this is the only tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you put Bela, Boris, Lon Chaney Jr., even Lon Chaney Sr. Okay,
yeah.
These are the top two. Like, we can, if we have to eliminate, we're gonna eliminate the two on the end. But yeah, I'll say Bela. Why not?
All right.
Good. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Let us know what you thought. Let us know if you have any suggestions. Hey, and by all means, anybody, if you're watching this on YouTube after it's posted for everybody, about us networking, you can drop us comments in there, man. If you have any podcast that you guys like that you think we would get on with that we're not familiar with, forward us, man. Refer us, and I'll reach out to them, and we'll see what's up. Right?
Absolutely.
That's a great way to do it. And that's it. If you want to support us, please like the video, help us out with the algos, leave a comment. Interaction helps. Buy a t-shirt. We got a spring link below. Throw us a couple of dollars on Patreon if you want to support us and help us out. I'm blown away that we're still doing this for as long as we are, to be honest with you. But hey, I want to keep it going, but any little bit of support helps. And watch
Year 12.
shows. Is it? Yeah, you're no, we started in 11.
Oh shit.
This is year 13.
God.
Lucky 13. And check out all the other shows, Mac and Zach. They got the Kame Gang. Hopefully we'll do, I know last commentary we did for BTM was Home Alone 4 Taking Back the House. I want to do another one hopefully in the next week or two. But a whole plethora of content if you're new to the channel. So we got like 1,000 videos. I think we just hit 1,000. So there's a ton of stuff. But and of course we're on podcast feed services. So all right,
Make
guys.
a home here.
Make a home here. Later, guys. Bye.